Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Aging and Spirituality, where we explore how, in the later chapters of our life, they can become the most meaningful and the most awakened. I'm Chris Jensen.
I'm Kathy Lee Taylor. Hello, everyone.
We're glad you're with us today. Today's topic is, I believe, it's very empowering, but it can be a little confronting because what I'm going to tell you is, and what we've experienced through our practices, is that you can actually create your life and your world.
Mhm.
Do you want better days, better years, a better world? Right now, in your own experience, there's a very powerful teaching that's attributed to Buddha, and it's the state of the outer world reflects our inner state. So when we look around today, it's easy to feel like things are chaotic. I mean, our world is chaotic, divided, uncertain. But this teaching invites us to have a different response to that. And it's not withdrawal, it's responsibility. That's why I said it might be confronting. But but it's a good responsibility because we're empowered to change within ourselves and to allow that change, allow ourselves to create change in the world. Because if the outer world reflects the inner, then change is not only possible, it begins with us. We can do it.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
It's an opportunity for sure.
Yeah, where it's not too late to create. I mean, one of the most limiting beliefs that people carry as they age is it's too late. I hate when I hear that. Too late to change habits, too late to feel joy, too late to create something meaningful. That idea just doesn't hold up. In many ways, aging gives us an advantage. We've lived long enough to see patterns clearly. We've experienced what works, what doesn't work, and most importantly, we feel a lot less pressure to perform for others and more permission to live authentically, to be who we really are. So creation doesn't mean building something new externally necessarily. It can mean creating peace where there was agitation, meaning where there's routine, connection where there's distance. Your world begins with how you meet each moment. How we meet each moment is how we create our life.
That is definitely in our control.
It is in our control. It is. And, the inner clearing is kind of where we start. One of the secrets to creating better days and years is surprisingly very, very simple, but not always easy. Clearing out the inner clutter. I mean, think of your mind and your heart like a room that's been collecting things for decades. Old beliefs, outdated fears, resentment, regrets, repetitive thoughts. This is the bric-a-brac that fills our inner space. I know when I sit to meditate and I have some of these thoughts going on, I like to say to myself, no bric-a-brac, please. No bric. Let me
That's an
let
interesting.
this go.
Yeah, please let go.
Meditative practices help us clear the space very gently. And as we age, something very interesting can happen. If we allow it, we become less attached to every thought and feeling. We begin to see them as passing through rather than defining who we are. Just because I have a thought or a feeling, it's not who I am. And in that clearing, something deeper emerges, what you might call your true self, calm, spacious, present. And there's a practice we do in yoga that I kind of want to do it right here. So I like to do the practice at the end, but I'd like to do it here because it very much involves clearing. And then we'll go through some other ways, some very simple things we can do every day that are other than meditation that will be helpful. But this is I love this thing. So let's all pretend. Let's visualize, first of all, what is your ideal room? What would it look like, your ideal room? You can close your eyes when you do this. I'm going to kind of talk us through it. So what's your ideal room look like? Is it sparse? Is it furnished? Does it have a view? Whatever it is, just visualize it for a moment or two. Now, see yourself at the bottom of a staircase leading up to that room. And in your hands are 5 suitcases. So we start to walk up the stairs, and the first suitcase is memories, old memories. So we just put that down and leave it on a step. We go up another step or two, and we see our fears. And they're in this second suitcase. And we leave that on a step. We leave it there. And we continue to go up. And then we look at anger. We have another suitcase that's got some anger in it. Let's leave that one on the next step. And then we walk up. And we have both our right knowledge and our wrong knowledge. And that's in this last suitcase. So let's put that down on a step. Now we've left all this baggage on the stairs and we walk into our ideal room. And we just enjoy that room for a couple moments. Okay, now we're going to leave. So we're going to leave our ideal room and we start to walk down the stairs. So you can pick up your suitcases, continue if you want, or you can leave them on the stairs and keep going. But was that not sweet when you were in the ideal room? When you left all that baggage behind? That's what it's like when we don't bring the bric-a-brac with us into our mind and emotions all the time. And we only spend a couple moments. I think it's really nice to do this practice for about 15 minutes. Take your time leaving each suitcase, and then you go into that ideal room and spend 5 or 10 minutes there. There's a peace, a serenity. You probably felt more peace, partly because you dropped the baggage.
That's a great way to go into meditation. A
It
lot of
is.
people would find that very calming for their mind, I think.
Yeah, it's a great thing to do. And that's why I wanted to do it now. And then we can talk about some of the other things you can do to create a better world around you. But it's very important to get to that ideal room is a very special place. And you get there when you let go of the baggage. So we'll keep that in mind. So here's some other practical ways to create a better inner and outer world. Conscious choice making. You can say to yourself when you have to make a choice about something, does this choice create more peace, more clarity, more connection? If it doesn't, maybe it's not the right choice.
Inner or outer connection?
Yeah,
Inner or outer connection? Which one?
either one.
Either
Your
one.
connection to whatever. Connection
Okay.
between whatever is happening, whatever that particular decision is involved with.
I got you. Okay.
I mean, your life is not necessarily always shaped by the big grand moments, but by repeated choices that we make. Because we tend to, if we're not being very conscious, we tend to do the same thing over and over again. It's like someone who gets divorced and then marries the same person 4 or 5 times, Yeah, you want to be conscious. But little things, I mean, maybe a choice of what you should do today. Well, should I do that? I have an option to do this or that. So which choice creates more peace, more clarity, or more connection for me? That's what you want to ask.
Yeah, good question.
Another thing that's very practical and helpful that helps us to create our inner and outer world is what do you consume? News, conversation, social media. It all directly influences our state of mind. And you don't have to disconnect completely, but be very intentional, Is this what I'm listening to or what I'm reading nourishing me or draining me? You know,
Okay, I can't help but notice this one. I mean, I rolled my eyeballs. You couldn't see because you weren't looking at them. I'm like, oh shit. This is like me on a day-to-day basis. I'm getting so good at like being able to doom scroll and just like boom, 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 like knock off the list, like not pay attention to it. I'm like refining my ability just to blow stuff off. But this is so hard not to do this. This is hard not to look what is going on in the world right now. I mean, sure I'm not alone in that one, but
oh
holy cow.
yeah. Well, what I found is I used to, I'd get up and I'd have to go to the bathroom and I'd, disconnect my phone from the charger and I'd have it in my hand. So I'd take it into the bathroom with me. And I've been looking at this stuff, and then I go into meditate. I thought, that is not.
And you're talking to yourself going, what did you do before you had the phone when you went to the bathroom? Like you cannot remember what the heck you would do while you're sitting there. Like that seems no, I can't do that anymore. That's
Right,
not possible.
right, right. So I
Oh
stopped
my God,
doing that. It was much more pleasant to
I
go in.
bet.
Yeah.
Don't
And,
take it to bed either. That's a bad place for it.
right, and when you think about it, you're going to hear the news anyway. You know,
Somebody will tell you.
you're gonna find out. You're not gonna miss anything. Um, so, and I'm not saying you never do that, but you want to be conscious about it.
Yeah.
Don't do things that are constantly draining you. And next is to practice compassion. Compassion is about action. It's not abstract. It's not thinking good thoughts about people. It's something you do. It can be as simple as a kind word, being patient, listening to someone, really listening. It shifts your internal world and it ripples outward.
That can make
Compassion changes life for you and for everybody around you. It can't
that can make
help
such
but
a
affect
difference
other
now.
people.
Yeah.
It just can't. It's amazing how it does. And you know how you feel when someone has done a compassionate act for you. It's so
100%.
uplifting. Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are starving for that kind of connection right now.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a biggie. I mean, a conscious act of compassion every day will change your life. Guaranteed.
And somebody else's too, for sure.
And then another thing is you can release the things that no longer serve you. Old grudges, self-criticism is a biggie. That's a biggie. I always say, what do you say to, what kind of self-talk do you have when you stub your toe? Because that really lets you know something about yourself.
Like you're yelling at yourself, you dumb dude.
Yeah, right. And would you say that to another person? No, you wouldn't say that to
Well, not your
somebody else.
kid anyway.
You wouldn't say it to someone else who stubs their toe. So,
Yeah.
it's very important to think about that. And, roles feel very heavy. You don't have to play any role. Just be who you are. Letting
Mm.
go creates space for something new to emerge. So if we let go of the old grudges, the old roles that we felt we had to play, the self-criticism, wow, look at all that space we've got. Woo, a lot of space.
You figure out what to do with all of that
What
space.
am I going to do with it? And then we want to align with what matters most. As we age, our priorities become more clarity. Use that clarity. Ask yourself, what really matters now? And then start aligning your time, energy, and attention accordingly. Now, what really matters to you? Is it that to-do list that you get up in the morning within the morning? Is that really it? What is it? What do you really want? And how can you put more time and attention into what really matters to you?
I know this one so well, and I hear this one often with people that are our age and aging because you become so keenly aware of, like I spend an hour having lunch with my son and I go, that's my favorite thing to do. I
Mhm.
love that. And then you always have that kind of invisible grief, like, oh,
Mhm.
how many more lunches am I going to get to have kind of feeling.
Mhm.
That's always like running in the background when you
Yeah.
want to be grateful and you want to be,
Yeah.
in that really aligned space.
Mhm.
So, that's just to say that there are a ton of, kind of ghost emotions that you're dealing with as you age and you're making those decisions about where is the most important place for me to spend my time. But I do, like I say, I have lunch with my kid like once a week. That's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
I don't have enough time with him.
Yeah. That's really important.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
really important. Yeah. Yeah. Well, someone asked me, well, why do you watch your grandson?
Someone ask you that, like,
Yeah. And I
they're not
said,
they're not a
really
grandparent,
important.
obviously.
Hey, it's important to me. My daughter needs the help. And
Yeah.
it's very important to me. People don't, people see things from their own perspectives, but it's
Yeah.
important to me. It's very
How could
important.
yeah, I would have been like, how could you not on that
I
one? That's
know. I know. I know.
that's a hard one.
Mm. And then spending time in stillness. This is not just beyond formal meditation. I'm talking about just walking, sitting quietly, pausing between activities. Stillness is where clarity grows. And I do this with my 3-year-old grandson. We play baseball, we're always running around doing this or that. And then at a certain point in the afternoon, I know he's going to start getting a little tired. And so I say, hey, let's sit here on the snug chair for a little while. I mean, sometimes we read a book, but sometimes we don't do any of that. We just sit there for a few minutes. And it changes the dynamic for him and for me and for me.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
changes the dynamic. We just kind of sit and snuggle up and we'll chat a little bit.
You call
And
it snug chair? Is that what you call
yeah, they
it?
have these chairs, they call them snug chairs. They're
Oh,
these
that's so
big
cute.
comfy chairs, and we
I
can
love it.
we can easily fit on it. I mean, sometimes we'll read a book, but we don't have to. It's just a few minutes just to have that time. And I can see the difference it makes even for a little kid.
Oh
And
God, yeah.
they need that. And I've taught him yoga, some yoga postures and stuff, and he's taught me some that he knows. And and but he loves to do deep relaxation. Like I'll say, do you want to do some yoga? And he'll lay down. I mean, not you can't do it for more
He
than a
likes
minute or two, but
he
he'll
likes
lay down.
Savasana best, which is
Yeah,
the funniest thing
but
ever.
yeah,
But
but
you're
that,
but you're teaching him to pay attention to his body. You're teaching him
yeah,
to really, respond to his
yeah,
physicality, which is really, really important to
very
learn at
important.
that age.
And for all of us, it's important. For all of us, it's important.
Yes.
And another thing is the way you talk. You can speak a better world into being. The way you talk to yourself and to others matters. I know people who are always rude and cutting, and they're creating something negative around them. But think about your language. It can reinforce fear or limitation, or it can create possibility and hope. I always like to think, hey, what can we do here? How can we grow through this? How can we expand ourselves?
100%.
And it's easy to feel that maybe one person can't make a difference in this big chaotic world, but your inner state affects your family, your relationships, your community, anyone you come into contact with. Most important, it affects you. And what affects you affects anyone around you. Mm. Uh,
The whole world ultimately.
I was in a park one time with my grandson, and he was playing with this other little boy, and the mom came up to me and she was talking to me for a minute. And she said, "Are you a teacher?" And I said, "Well, no." I said, "No." I said, "I teach yoga," and she said, "Ha!" She said, "I knew it was something like that." She said, "You just bring a certain calmness."
See? See?
And she wanted to stay there. And,
I bet she did.
but
Yeah,
that's what we can do for others,
in
In
the
that
world.
moment, what helped her was just my calmness. I wasn't doing anything particular.
Yep. Just to connect with
Those
it.
things make a difference. So, calm creates calm, kindness creates kindness. Presence deepens connection. So be present. You don't have your mind off somewhere. That's something I had to work on really a lot when in my yoga practice, that my mind was always so busy that I really had to work on being mindful. Okay, it's really, really important. And here's a little bit for you to sit with this week. Okay, what kind of world do you want to live in? And what kind of inner world would create that? I mean, I want to live in a world that's filled with love and everybody being kind to each other and everybody being spiritually awake and aware. So, what do I need to bring that out, to bring that about?
Yep. Alignment. Yep.
Yeah. And the truth is that we're never finished creating. It's never too late to shape our days, our years, or our world with more compassion and kindness and whatever it is within us. But be kind to yourself. It kind of starts there. If you have some compassion and kindness for yourself, then that will spread out. So that's what I'm thinking. I
It
hope
definitely starts there.
I hope this is helpful because it always frustrates me when people, I think the biggest ageism thing is when people try to limit us. And I think we can break free from that. We don't have to accept that.
I'll give you a great example of that. You say that I know you're at the end of your talk, but somebody the other day said to me something like, I won't say who, someone of the male persuasion says something like you could find yourself an old rich guy. And I just cringed like at the like from every little cell of my being, just going,
God. Oh my God.
I mean, how to, they don't understand how that feels, how that
Yeah,
lands,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait a minute, you don't think I can do it on my own? Like, I'm
Yeah.
only 69, been doing it on my own my whole life,
Your
but
whole life. Yeah,
let's ignore that part.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
that kind of thinking
Yeah,
that you allow to go on. You don't even know you're doing it. You've heard
yeah,
it somewhere along the way, that kind of thinking.
yeah,
Don't do that. Don't limit people with with your ageism.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
People are just getting started. They turn 50 and they're literally just figuring out who the heck they are for the first time. And I like to think of, 60, you're just getting started doing your real work.
Yeah, yeah,
Your real work. What you
yeah.
came here to do, all that shit before was just practice,
Right.
experience,
It's the
learning.
learning. It's learning. Human beings have a very long learning curve.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
It
It's
takes
not
us
like being
longer than
9 months
any other
pregnant,
animal to mature.
60 years pregnant, and then you get to birth your inner baby when you're in the third part of your life.
Exactly. Exactly. I
But
love
it is but it is very cool, and it is very rewarding and very fulfilling. So it's
that.
completely worth the journey. And just remember to have some fun along the way.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the perfect place for us to end right there.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Have some fun
Fun
along the
with
way.
it. Have fun with this because you'll have a better life. And so will everybody around you.
There you go.
So let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you.
So
And
go to YouTube. Don't forget.
yeah, come to our YouTube channel and subscribe and like us and comment. We want to hear from you.
We would love to hear from you.
Bye bye.
See you
See
next
you
week.
next time.
Bye.